It's now been 25 years since I graduated from high school. I still got the jacket, still got the ring, and I still got my graduation present. I still got the box, the manual, and the game. The other stuff that came in it, I don't think I got that stuff anymore. Yeah, Paper Mario. That was my high school graduation present. I already had a car, and I didn't really know what I wanted until I was at Toys R Us, and then I found the strategy guide for Paper Mario, and that's when I learned it was an RPG, because I remember seeing the commercial for it, but I didn't really know exactly what the gameplay was. And when I realized it was an RPG, since it had been like 5 years since Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars came out, I wanted it. So I told my dad, he got it for me. Graduation night. Oh man, I remember that day. I messed up big time with the cap. I did that. The hat fell off, so I just said, it's true. I just walked out there. Everybody was even talking about what he just knocked his hat off. Yeah, I messed up. That was me. Oh goodness, I did all posing in cap and gown with my dad, my grandmother, my brother. Still got those pictures. Oh man, it was a fun day. But after graduation, I did not go to college. I just chose to work. And after graduation, I became addicted to beating this game. Didn't take that long either. It only took a few weeks, maybe less. But yeah, I remember playing, and I beat it, and then some time went by, I played through it again. Some time went by, played through it again. It actually has the title of my favorite Mario game. I'm not kidding around. This is my favorite Mario game, Paper Mario. I actually did like it more than Super Mario RPG. The game basically is nothing more than Mario has to save Princess Peach from Bowser again. Yeah, it's doing that story. The story pretty much is Bowser steals the Star Rod, I believe is what it's called, from the 7 wishing stars. All of them have a stereotypical look. The oldest one's got the big bushy mustache. The glamorous one's got the ribbon. The tough one's got the sailor hat. We got the sleepy dad. The book smart one. The mama one. And what was the other one? Oh, dagnabbit, he escaped me. He escaped me. Oh yeah, the one with the glasses with that pointy mustache. Yeah, well, he gets all of them, becomes invincible, and then Bowser takes Princess Peach's castle to the sky. Mario gets defeated by him, and he gets kicked out, and he's now going down like this because he's now paper. Now, to me, this doesn't really have much of a paper look. The characters are just more like 2D characters in a 3D world. There is some stuff that does try to resemble paper, like when stairs get folded out and all that stuff, but in the end, I'm like, no, this is 2D characters in a 3D world, so it should have just been called 2D Mario in 3D world. But, man, the gameplay is kind of similar to Super Mario RPG. When you connect with an enemy, you go to that, this time it's a 2D area instead of like a third-person view. And, you play as Mario and one of his little assistants. Now, he gets 8 helpers, I believe. Each one gets 1 attack and 3 abilities. Now, when you start them off with them, you get 1 ability. When you get these blue coins that are in these blocks that you have to hit, it upgrades them where they get an extra attack. And then when you hit another one, you get another upgrade, which gives you the final attack. Usually the final one is the one that mainly attacks all enemies. Kind of like Sushi does that tidal wave. Bombette blows them all up. Now her second attack can blow up all enemies on the ground, but her third attack also gets the ones in the air. Ugh, excuse me. Paracara basically can go all over the place, and all the other ones do the other thing. Then I can also upgrade your defense and upgrade your attacks. Some of them are kind of, to me, not really good, like Madame Bow or Bow. She basically has this one where she can turn Mario into like a ghost, but whenever you use it, it does help protect him, but the second time, whenever it's Mario's turn again, she sits that attack the second time out. Now, if you want to know the enemy's HP, Goomba Mario, I'm hoping I'm saying his name right, or is it Goomba Mario? Well, he can do the tattle where he can tell you how much the character's energy is, and whenever that he identifies that character, their energy stays throughout the game. But you can get these badges later on. The badges are like the magic that Mario can do, like such as the power jump, the bouncing jump, and also the hammer, the quake hammer, and all these other things. And there's a peekaboo badge that allows you to always see the enemy's HP, so after that you don't need tattle anymore. Basically, this is nothing more than a kind of like Super Mario RPG. You just go to one point after another, defeat all the enemies, you beat the main villain, get the star, and then repeat to the next area. Now, this game is like a storybook where it does it in chapters versus the prologue where you get introduced to Mario's first companion, Goombario. You also meet Junior Koopa, who's the recurring boss. Usually every time you beat a chapter, he shows up and you gotta take him on again. His attacks get better at every time. He'll either be him in his shell, a thorn on his head, bat wings, and a magical wand. You also, now the main bosses for the prologue is the red Goomba and the blue Goomba, then the Goomba King. Once you defeat them, you defeat the prologue, you get back to the Mushroom Kingdom, but Bowser's now God in the sky. Now every time you beat a level, you always play as Princess Peach with the little star, Twink, who is one of the, from the Star Haven, which is from the other stars are at. You use the secret passage, which is this button behind the, this painting, which causes the fire to go out. You go in, and then you do that rotating wall thing. First, she'll read Bowser's diary, and then she'll basically eavesdrop on these two guys. Then she'll basically have to just eavesdrop again, play a game show, make a cake, and all kinds of stuff. Even Paracel, is that what you call those things? Imitate one of them to get closer to Bowser so she can get that information, and then Tweet goes and delivers it to Mario, so that's where you always know where to go next. Okay, the Mushroom Kingdom is pretty much the hub of the area, and you can use a pipe to go to Mario and Luigi's house. Luigi is in the game, but he's at the beginning, and he stays throughout the game, but he's only at Mario's house because his excuse is somebody has to watch their place. I'm like, yeah, okay, first, you have to take on the Koopa Brothers. There's this one part where they're like all the posing as Toads and won't let Mario go through. You have to go see this wizard. He exposes them, and then you go to the Koopa Troopa's castle. Basically, this is chapter 1. It's nothing more than going through the forest, going to the Koopa Troopa village, getting Koopa on your side, going to the Koopa Brothers castle, rescuing the bombs or whatever they're called. I'm hoping I'm saying their name right. Finding Bombette, and this is when you get her ability. Now, whenever you are not fighting, your characters do have abilities. You use this button right here to activate them, the bottom C button. And hers is blowing up cracks in the walls to create entrances. And Goombario basically will tell you if there's items hidden in there. Mario can kick his shell at it. He can either hit stuff or he can grab stuff that's out of reach and bring it to you. Wacky Lester, you ride him and he can go over spikes. So she allows Mario to swim in the water, even though the commercial shows Mario swimming, and yet Mario never swims in the entire game. Madame Bao can, you can basically turn Mario invisible like a ghost to go through certain areas or to keep enemies from seeing him. Watt can light up the area. And, Parakarry, he can actually fly Mario over long gaps. Am I forgetting anybody? Hopefully not. Okay. Now for the other controls, I'll just go ahead and get that out of the way. This is moving. Start goes to the menu. When you're at menu, hit these buttons to switch to the items things you want to go to, like items and badges. This brings up the list of your companions, and when you select one, you press A to choose that one. This brings up the items in your inventory. You can hold up to 10 items, and when you go to shops, they can hold about 25 items. And it doesn't matter what shop you drop them off; all of them are like sharing them somehow. Yeah, press that again to do that. Use your item right then and there. This checks your status. A is the action command and lets you talk to people and open doors and all that stuff. B is the cancel button, of course. And this doesn't do anything. The Z button makes Mario spin, which allows him to move faster. And if you do it while you hit enemies, it can actually make them dizzy. Because it did happen for me. My next playthrough before I did this, that's when I finally discovered that, because I never used it before on them. And unlike Mario RPG, when you hit an enemy on the outside the battle, it actually can start off with you actually hitting them to get their energy down a little bit more. But unfortunately, they can do the same thing. If they hit you, it takes off. They hit the first attack. Now, like Mario RPG, you can block some to either avoid damage or reduce damage. You can also, like in Mario RPG, make your attack stronger, but unlike Mario RPG, this one kind of always lets you know what to do, like holding the hammer back at the right time, pressing the button command, holding the button down, or making sure you remember to press it right whenever you do this certain action. Basically, in other words, they will literally tell you everything. That's how much they want, because they want to make sure you do it nice and correctly. You can get items that can help you during the battlefield, like shrooms for health, syrup for getting your magic FP refilled, as well as other like fright jars, dizzy, sleep, and all that stuff, lightning, snowman, and a bunch of other things. You can even use an electric shroom that make you electrical, that whenever an enemy hits you, you still will take damage, but they'll get zapped as well. But it's kind of it really does kind of suck, though. You can go to this cook, where you can get recipes to make other items. Like if you mix this Koopa leaf and any shroom, you can actually get a life shroom every time you die. When you have one of those, you come back with 10 HP. Now, when it comes to experience points, every time you beat them, you get enemies. You get a number of experience points. Every time you get 100 experience points, you get to choose from health, FP, or badges getting updated. Health and FP go up 5. Badges always goes up 3. I think 50 is the limit for health and MP and FP, and I think 30 is the limit for badges. I don't think I've ever maxed them all out. Okay. Now, whenever you keep beating enemies, you'll notice that the experience points that they give you get smaller and smaller, and eventually they won't give them to you at all. When that happens, that means you're maxed out in this area, so you have to go to the next area to get them, start getting your experience points again. Now, there are badges that you need during the experience points that can protect you from stuff, such as the enemies with spikes on them. You get the badge that prevents that from happening, so that way you can still jump on them. Now, whenever you encounter enemies with shells or defenses, you might have to flip them over. The jump thing is what can do that, but you gotta make sure you have to. When you hit them, they will fall over, but if you do it again, you'll hit them again. But for the hammer, it's usually the quake motion, the power slam, that can flip all enemies that have the shields or the spikes on their backs or upside down. This can also allow your companion to hit them as well. Oh boy, and there's a lot of bosses in this game, not just regular enemies, but this time there's a lot of bosses. Well, actually, not like this time, because, well, Super Mario RPG has more, I believe. This one's got a lot, too. You'll know when you're fighting a boss by the boss music. The boss music is always different. It's like Mario RPG. There's an enemy theme, a boss theme, and then the main boss theme. Now, unlike Mario RPG, the main boss theme, each one gets their own theme music. The regular boss theme is always the same. The enemy music is always the same. Koopa Jr. also has his own theme. It's nice and cute and cuddly. Oh boy. Now, Chapter 1 is the Koopa Brothers. I've already mentioned that, but I'll mention it again. First, they attack you with this Mech Bowser, then they attack you all separate. They're basically a parody of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Then you get your companion to hit them. Usually, Bombette's the best one for me to do this with. You can beat them in lickety-split. The next area is the Dry Desert, the desert theme level. Every area's got that cliche where they all have different environments. The desert basically is where you get Parakarry. Oh man, I hope I'm saying their names right. And you gotta go to the desert, this village, to meet Moustafa. First, you have to go find a lemon, come back, give it to this mouse, and of course, the Moustafa you're looking for is revealed to be the same one that you gave the lemon to. You then get this thing where you rise up this temple. That's when you take on Tutton Koopa. He's got a cool level, and I do like the boss fight against him. He's up on top throwing beetle shells at you, and he sticks the chomps on you. And whenever you, well, of course, he's not hard at all. The fact is, a lot of the bosses in this game are pretty easy. As long as you got, okay, every time you go to an area, beat all the enemies, and keep beating them until you're maxed out. Do not just rush through it. I've done that before in the past with so many RPGs, and I regretted it, and now I know, even back when I was playing this the second time, always get yourself leveled up where they can't give you any more experience points. That's whenever you get there, the boss is a cinch. All right. Well, Tut and Koopa gets defeated, and then you get the next star. The first one is the one that gives you the FP and MP go up 5 points each, and he can also heal you from any damage, any like poisons or all that stuff. And the second one is Lullaby, which puts your opponent to sleep. Now the other ones have gives you other attacks as well, but honestly, the shooting star attack that takes 7 off every enemy in the game, and the smooch that gives you 20 HP, 20 MP, or is it AP or MP? I'll just say HP because I'm used to that for other RPGs. Those are the only two that I ever use, and when it comes to the first star, he's only good until the smooch comes available, because once you get the smooch, you don't really need the 5 anymore. You might use it in whenever you run out, because every time you get the star power, when you use one of them, it will get smaller. They let you know how many star things that they will take away. But there's a focus where you can pray or wish that can get it up a little bit faster, because it does rebuild. And the good news is there are toad houses where you can sleep, and whenever you sleep, you always get refill your energy, your magic, and your star power. It refills all 3 of them. And the save blocks, of course, is how you save. Just jump it, and I always ask you if you want to save, because there's a chance that you might no, not yet, I forgot that I gotta take care of that first. Or you might forget, wait a minute, I did this wrong, and so which means if I save now, I'll mess up. I won't be able to go back and correct that, so I can't save. So at least it does so, even though it does look like it's going to be irritating, the option to save is actually a good thing. Now, when you're going through the villages and the Mushroom Kingdom, you'll meet this game show worm. He basically gives you star pieces that basically you have to use to buy badges from this one character out in the Star Valley, or whatever that, Star Haven, the entrance, or whatever it's called. Now, he will ask you 64 questions every time you go to the Mushroom Kingdom, the Koopa Village, the Goomba Village, the dry desert village. There's the Winter Village. If he's not there, you can just keep walking back and forth until he appears. And his questions are easy, but the good news is he always appears near a save block, so every time you see him, save, get asked to do the question. And that way, if you get it wrong, just reset the game and then try again. There's only 3 choices for each question, so if you get the first 2 wrong, you're going to get the 3rd one right. I should try. Okay. All right. Star pieces are also hidden in their area. Sometimes they're in plain sight. Sometimes they're hidden a bit where you can just barely see them. Or sometimes they're hidden in the floors. Now, it's at Chapter 3 is whenever you get informed that, when you go after the invincible Tubba Blubba. Tubba Blubba, yeah. This is the haunted area. First, you're in this area where you have a big circle, get multiple gates, and you have to look for things that are just different, like the plants whispering, eyes appearing, or any other thing, until you find the Boo Mansion, and that's when you meet Madame Bo. Or Bow. She joins, but at this point you're then told that if you do this double jump, where you jump and then jump again and hit the ground with a slam, or if you use the hammer, you'll see a part of the floor go like that, and that's where a star piece is hidden. Also, it's at this point whenever the life shrooms become available, but I don't remember if you can get them before this, or you probably can if you do the cooking, but I think you might need the cookbook first before she can do the mixes, because I didn't really have any cooking experience with her until after I got her cookbook. But when you go after Tubba Blubba, you meet this, you start to see this windmill, then you go to the Boo Village, and then Tubba Blubba shows up and it reveals that he's been eating the ghost. Then you go to his mansion, and then you gotta go through it, and then when you get this key, he wakes Tubba Blubba up, you run for your life. It's a chase sequence. You get out, you go back to the windmill, and that's when you find his heart, and it turns out without his heart, he's invincible. You defeat his heart, use Madame Bo. Now that that thing that I said where she turns you invisible, turns you where you can't be hurt at this point, but it does sacrifice her turn next. This is like the only part of the game where it's actually useful, but you have to wait for this certain attack where all these multiple mini hearts show up. He will energize first before he does it. So whenever you whenever that happens, make sure you use that first, so that way they all will miss you. It will sacrifice your turn, and yes, it will make the battle go on a little bit longer, but at least it prevents you from all those multiple attacks. After that, the heart runs, he joins Toblo, eats him, and gets his heart back, but he's not invincible anymore, and he's now an easy boss fight. He then regurgitates all the ghosts that he ate, and then they reveal that he's actually a count, and the ghosts have had fun scattering the pants off of him, if he wore pants. The next chapter is the toy box, where the Shy Guys are. Now, there's a train that you gotta get. First, you gotta get this thing back for this Toad in this item shop. When you get it for him, he will let you go in this back. There's a toy train there. Don't go in there and try and use it. Throw it in there first, and then because if you do it, it will stay small. But when you throw it in, it actually becomes gigantic. This is where you get Watt. Now, Watt first is being held by this ghostly-like character. He's holding a lantern. You have to hit the lantern to light the area up so you can hurt him. Madame Bo, to me, is the best one to use because her slap attack will actually get the thing going on really light. Once you beat that big ghost, you get Watt on your side. Then when you hold him, he lights up this area so you can see. And then you take on General Guy and his Shy Guys. It's a tank and troops boss fight. The tank does have this thing on it that you could break. It's like a bulb on the top, right where he is, and once you defeat him, you then you get the next star piece. And then you go to chapter 5. Now this is the part where when you go to this dock on Toad Village, you'll eventually have to come back here for this part. This is where you meet this whale. He's complaining about a bellyache. You help him out with the bellyache, and then he swims you to Yoshi Island. Yep, the Yoshis are back, and you get to meet the big chief, the big fat chief, and it's like a cliche. All chiefs in villages in the jungle or tropical islands have to be overweight. I've seen it so many times. Well, you then have to go play hide and seek with these Yoshis, and this is where you meet Sushi, or that fish. Yeah, this is where you can now swim, even though Mario is swimming in the commercial. Oh, goodness. Basically, you get all of them, and then you gotta go find Raphael the Raven, the 5th boss from Yoshi's Island. He then makes this device for you so you can get into the volcano. You go in there and you take on the lava piranha plants, but of course, in this area, the lava level, you gotta make sure you don't touch the lava, because if you do, you lose some health, and Mario shoots up and lands back where he once was. Sometimes at the beginning of the area. So yeah, they did repeat that from Mario RPG, but at least he's not running around screaming like in 64. The lava piranha is pretty easy. Basically, if you have Sushi's water attacks, that can, especially his tidal wave, because if you can get both upgrades for him for his tidal wave, you can actually basically whenever his the main head and the two smaller heads, when they get stunned and everything, he just flat out won't attack. So this makes it really easy. Just make sure you have plenty of stuff. You might have to go back and restock to get that the stuff that you need to fill your FP. But it's worth it because if you do, as long as you go in there prepared, he's the easiest boss in the game, or should I say the easiest main boss in the game. And yeah, I actually will say he's even easier than the Koopa Brothers, because once those all 3 heads are stunned, he won't attack. You get the once you get the star, well, then you gotta go look for this treasure, because you gotta give it to the Colorado, I believe is that turtle's name, who's the explorer, because he's got something that you're gonna need. Now, before all this, in the Mushroom Kingdom, there's this thing that you probably are gonna think is a side plot, which is this garden. You gotta find these creatures that are like these seeds with flowers on their head, flowers growing on their feet. They basically will give you these seeds. Every time you give one to her, she'll grow flowers. you think this is just a side plot, but it turns out this is the main plot. This is how you get to Chapter 6. Now, you have to go find that treasure from that volcano and give it to Colorado so he can get to give you the sea that he got, because that when you meet that final sea creature, he'll tell you already gave it to him. Well, head out there, go to the, head out there, and that's when you then find yourself in this beautiful flower field with this giant tree that talks to you. First, Mario and your companion don't know where's that voice coming from, and then it zooms out, like, oh, there you are. You got, this one's more about left, right. There's 6 paths. You find flowers that won't let you pass unless they get in this certain berry. Then you find this one character that won't let you go. There's this character named Lily. She needs a water crystal. You gotta go get it from this one, but she wants a gift. You gotta go get this. You gotta go to this other one to get that gift, and then give it to that one. And then you go and meet the sun. The sun says he can't do anything until Huff and Puff is gone, or at least that cloud-making device is gone. And then you meet Lackey Lester. Okay, he wants to be called, I think he's Spike or Spiky. You find him first. He joins you, and you use him to go hover over the spikes to get to the this high other area, which is where the cloud-making device is. You take on the enemies that are using it, and then you go and take on Huff and Puff when they grow the vine. Heard it to the grapevine, or in this case, the grapevine. Huff and Puff is a giant cloud. And every time you hit him, smaller versions of him come out. You have to go after those. He can breathe them back in and regain his health. He's got a lot of good attacks, and if this is a cloud character, you know he's going to have lightning. And, man, you want to do the powerful attacks to get the all the clouds out. Then you want to do the multiple attacks again to get rid of all the smaller clouds. Now, that will still make more clouds come out, but it will help breathe those in, but at least you'll get one wave of them gone. He's not that hard, and once again, just keep upgrading your character until you get no more experience points in this area. Once that happens, that means you're worthy of taking on the boss. More than worthy, that is. You go and take on, after that, we go to Chapter 7, my favorite area, the ice area. Now, once again, now like the issue with the garden, there is this sewer area. You think it's a side area. Part of the main game. This is where you get the, big the boots that help you out, as well as a number of the upgrades for your companions. One is kind of hidden. There's this area that has these rising up platforms. Get on one, and then you'll go to the ceiling where you can actually walk forward and then drop down, and there it is. I flat out forgot about it, but thanks to the internet, I was able to remember. Now, the Cystal King's area is the best one. But before you can do that, you have to do this murder mystery about, well, you see this thing in this frozen lake. This penguin character, whenever you try to smash the glass, he'll grab Mario and he'll kick him in this butt and boot him out of that area. That's when you have to go meet the mayor. The mayor's fallen over. He's got X's for eyes. His wife accuses you of killing him, but then you gotta go meet this other character. Comes back. They do the explanation of what's going on, and that's when it's revealed the mayor is not dead. He's still alive, even though he had X's for eyes. He just fell over and knocked himself out. Okay, once that's cleared up, you can finally, you do get the key, but whatever gosh, God. As soon as you get the, penguin doing investigating the murder, that's when you can go get that key, that's when you can go get that other character, and then you can get that whole murder mystery thing solved, and then you can finally go on your way, because this one penguin won't let you leave until that's taken care of. So yeah, filler. The ice area is cool. First, you gotta take care of this mushroom thing. You go and meet with this guy, he gives you a scarf, you give the scarf to one of the mushrooms, you then go back to the penguin mayor, he gives you I believe it's a bucket, and you put it on one, it opens up, you go inside, you then do some more enemy battling, then you meet with this one character in this hidden room, and Mario falls asleep when she's talking, got this gigantic snot bubble that pops when he wakes up, and then you go inside the Cystal King's lair. Now this is more like, instead of it's not just left and right, it's also up and down. It literally is a straight path, but once you get to him, my favorite boss fight in the game. Oh man, and the boss music is unbelievable. He has these companions, they only have 1 HP for each. They only have 1 HP. use a multiple attack to get rid of them and then take him on, but unfortunately he can heal himself when you get his energy pretty far down. He also will make two copies of himself, so you gotta figure out which one's the real one and which one's the fake. Usually using an attack for all three of them will let you know which one's the real one, otherwise you'll just have to take wild guesses, and whenever you get two of them wrong, you're gonna know which one it is, but unfortunately that means he's gonna have a freebie against you. So make sure you stocked up on health and FP for this boss fight, because you are gonna need it. But sit back and listen to that music too. Get it on YouTube and check it out. It is the best boss theme in the game. Once you get him beaten, you go up and take on Princess. No, you don't fight Princess Peach. Why did I say that? Okay. Once you get the Cystal King defeated, you go to the Star Haven, because now you've freed all the stars. And like I said, they give you multiple attacks, but in my opinion, only two of them are really any good. Well, three, but after the once you get the smoosh, the first one's not that good anymore. Well, it still can be, but not as much as you want it to be anymore. Now there is an optional boss, this giant Koopa Troopa with these big round glasses. He's blocking the path for Colorado to go home. Fighting him is optional, but he is pretty hard. You have to use that double jump to flip him over, and then you gotta let your companion hurt him. But unfortunately, unlike the other enemies that when you flip them over, when they just get up, that sacrifices their turn, he gets to hit you. And man, is this guy annoying, because he takes off a lot of energy, so you better be prepared against him with health and magic, and make sure your companions are at least at level 2, whenever you get two of those upgrade blocks before you fight him. Once you defeat him, he runs for his life. Now there's a dojo also in the Toad Village where you can fight get this degree and everything. You don't really need it, but yeah, it's fun to get. First you take on a beetle, then that church with that sheet on them, I forgot their dang names, the doppelgangers or something like that. And you then take on the master. You gotta take him on 3 times. The third time, I think his energy is at 99, which is the same as Bowser for the final battle, because 99 is the highest in this. But he's pretty tough for that third fight, but once you beat him, you get that degree, and you don't have to do this anymore. Now, another side plot is with Parakarry collecting letters. They're hidden all over the place. Look for them, and then deliver them to the ones that need them, and you get a star piece as a reward. There's one where you keep going back, forth, left, right, whole thing, switching all this, getting all these until you get it to every single one of them, because whenever you give them one, you give the letter to someone, they give you a letter to give to someone else, and then that's full, and then in the end, it's over with. Another side plot is this cranky old Koopa, who I do not like at all in this game. He wants you to do all these favors for him, and he only gives you one coin, and then a star piece. The only favor I think should have been included is the one where he wants you to get those bombs to shut up next door. That's it. That's the only one I think that should have been in this. After that, well, once you get all the side stuff out of the way, it's optional. You don't need to, but it's just there if you want to. Get the game longer. Go to the Star Haven, then a bridge will, you'll get to go up. You get to go to where the temple is, where all the stars are, and then you get to ride a chariot. You don't take a bus this time, you ride a chariot to the castle. You take on all of Bowser's minions. You think you're going to do a rematch fight against the Koopa Brothers, then Junior Koopa shows up. He does all the stages at once this time. Well, further you get his energy down, he moves to the next stage. And then you go and take on Bowser. First, round 1 is you fight him where you fight him at the beginning of the game. Round 2 is up on this other thing. This big giant platform that spins around and energizes him. This is whenever the little star that's been assisting Princess Peach all this time shows up. Her focus on him gets him stronger where he can defeat Cammy, Bowser's companion, throughout the entire game. And then you go one-on-one. Then you finally get to take on... Then you battle Bowser for the big main showdown. This is actually my favorite boss fight against Bowser. It's not hard, but it is still fun. He basically can do heavy damage. He's got fire attacks and all that. And of course, he can energize himself with the Star Rod. Whenever he energizes himself with the Star Rod, basically use the combination, the final one you get from all the Star Guardians. And they will deactivate it, then you can hit. Then your companion can hit him, and then you basically you can continue the fight without him doing that powerful attack that he was going to do, or his in more powerful attacks. Oh god, I'm doing terrible at this. Okay, once you beat him, he cries that he became invincible, and he still lost. They gotta get the heck out of there. Mario and all of them are rescued. The castle's returned. You then go back to the Mushroom Kingdom. You get to talk to everybody you pretty much encountered throughout the entire game. And then you go back to the castle, talk to some more, and then we see a big parade ending, like in Mario RPG. First, Luigi is leading the parade. We see all the floats with all every character in the game. Even Bowser's part of it for some reason. And then it ends with Mario and Princess Peach going up to the spot and watching the fireworks, and it says the end. Great game. Perfect 10 out of 10. My favorite Mario game. My favorite boss fight against Bowser. And it has one of my all-time favorite boss themes, which is for the Cystal King, who is one of my favorite non-final bosses. He's not number one. The Robot Masters from the Mega Man franchise will always have that title. But Paper Mario is a great, great game. When it comes to the sequels, despite the fact that some people keep saying that Thousand Year Door was always a sequel better than the first, I always found it as a downgrade. A Sticker Star was a bigger downgrade. Color Splash was an upgrade to that, but not as good as the other first two. I still haven't played the Origami King. I don't think I'm ever going to because it looks lame. But if you haven't played the first Paper Mario game, check it out. I definitely would recommend it. Once again, perfect game. 10 out of 10. Some of the side plots could have been thrown out, especially that old Koopa that pretty much wants you to do all those favors. One of them, with the issue with the bombs making all that racket, is the only one I would have ever used. And that's pretty much about it. Okay, it does give you more than what you need. That's another thing. It's one of those games. But once you figure out what suits you best for playing through this game, you're probably just going to want to stick with that, and that's it. You're not going to even bother with the other stuff. You might get them just to have them, but that's about all. That's okay. But still, once again, I love my graduation present. Thank you so much, Dad, for getting to me. I still miss you. On June 5th, which would have been your 76th birthday, I'm going to make a video that salutes you by singing songs that you sang to me when you took me to school.